So as we shift into this new age, with less and less old heads who will die defending the narrative and believing everything they're told, we have a lot of young kids who really question the world around them. And they're more open-minded to the belief that these Zio elitists could really be responsible for the corruption that takes place in our everyday life. They hijack the server. Now, what I think a lot of us forget is that all these mainstream channels who are acknowledging conspiracies in 2025, this would have never happened if it weren't for the years on years on years of these truth seekers, these whistleblowers speaking out and getting called crazy, losing relationships, losing their friends, their family, their job, their connections, all because they really wanted to spread the truth, but society wasn't ready yet, and they still had way too much power. They still had all the control to make you look crazy. Even with things like the ingredients in food. We don't even have to get deep yet talking about Epstein being a Mossad agent. That's something that people have been saying for years on years, but finally they'll start to bring it in the narrative now. So shout out everybody who's been putting work in. I'm talking 50, 60 years of this. Some people 20 years, some people 10 years, some people 5 months, whatever, however long. There's a mission for Americans to take their power back right now, as well as all these other countries who are also corrupt and infiltrated. With that said, a lot of us don't realize, with these people having control, how far it really runs. Of course, we know the entertainment industry is the farthest thing from pure. It's not about talent, creativity, expressing yourself. It's about if you're willing to comply, if you're willing to give up parts of yourself and allow this new energy inside that they'll use to project onto the masses. You're a puppet, you're a jester. All these streamers, rappers, celebrities, singers, they have a protocol they must follow. If they decide to step off track, speak out on something they shouldn't have, you're done. All we have to do is critically think on this idea. Why can't they say certain things? Why was it such a big deal when Kyrie said what he said, when he refused to do what he wanted to do? And it's as simple as these are the puppets the elite use to cast their illusions, to make us have these certain beliefs that are nothing but destructive. And aside from sports, when you look at the entertainers in Hollywood who are actors, streamers, things like that, you're rewarded for your evil behavior. You're shunned for if you want to be pure and good and actually probably have a moral decision. By that I just mean when you look at these streamers and what they push and how chaotic it is to their impressionable young audience, this is manufactured. And it's so deep that these streamers subconsciously play the role for the come up. They act based off just what they were fans of in their early days, which were also people who were abiding by this same corrupt system. They're just youngins who are following what they see on their phone, which brings in a whole nother conversation, a whole nother piece of the game. Social media and technology, that all comes from, we already know. So let's understand what that has done to the mind of these young people. What does it take to go viral anyways? It's a trap. It's all such a trap. What made me want to just put this camera on and talk to y'all was when I seen Kai Cenat say he was going through some mental health struggles. He said he's been going through things he's never felt this way before in his head, yada yada. Some people are saying, oh my God, he's cloned. He looks so different. He's talking so different. Get the hell out of here. He's been a sellout since day one. They wouldn't have just cloned him. 2, though, people are saying, you can't be depressed. You're a millionaire. Well, listen, money doesn't exempt you from feelings. We know nothing external, nothing of this material world can permanently fill that void. But of course, he can't relate to the real world struggles majority of us have. So I feel both ends there. But what I will tell you and why I feel like he's probably going through shit is because he's involved in this industry. He praises Jesus an awful lot for an industry controlled by people who denounce Jesus, who think he's burning in hell. This isn't some conspiracy. I could go back and watch music videos from 2018 when I was just enjoying rap, and I'm looking at all this Jewish mysticism shit going on. They know what they're doing, and they worship what they worship. Nothing would be wrong with that if it didn't directly affect your belief and how you move. It's degenerate, immoral activity they push onto people they think are less than them. And you're just being used as a piece. You're a creative soul, clearly, but you aren't actually expressing nothing in this industry. So that's where I think the conflict could come in for anybody who's genuine entering this industry. He's not the first one we've seen. There's been plenty, and they got ran through. And they're a whole different person by the time they're done. So with Kai saying he's going through something mentally, all these people making assumptions that he's cloned or he's trying to grow up a little bit, the first thing that jumps out to me is this man is deep in this industry. And he might be realizing I don't have as much control as I thought. I don't have as much value as I thought because these people above me have the final say on everything I do. That's the reality of this industry. You must be willing to comply. That's not comply like, oh, but I'm going to be tired. I don't feel like doing this. No, I mean comply in a way that's going to strip you of the energy that's made you who you are. You're going to turn into a whole nother person. And no material possession or amount of money will help you recognize that person. When you ruin the relationship with yourself, it does real damage within that nothing externally can fix. I just wanted to hop on the mic now after really thinking about everything I said. And the biggest takeaway, honestly, is this influencer age needs to die out. These people care about themselves. They care about money. And to be A-list, you have to be controlled. You have to be following the guidelines. So many people are speaking truth, but I'm saying what's still mainstream? You know, what streamers are blowing up and just randomly getting a million views. It's always going to be the body little distracted ones, and it's the entire system of social media. Talking from a creator standpoint, it's draining on the person, but from a viewer standpoint too, the algorithms completely affect your attention span, your thoughts. It affects all of it. With social media influencers and these powerful people with money to back these influencers, it's had extreme consequences, and it's more than just psychological warfare, it's ideological subversion. We have such an abundance of knowledge, yet we are steered so far from morality, and everybody has their own truths. Nobody knows what's right and wrong. This is what's going on today. We've been destabilized from within. That is a real concept, which I believe is from 100 years ago. Like I told you on my third channel, these elitists tell their plans through writings they know the masses won't read. But we need to understand all the outcomes and rituals we do on a daily basis that come from this propaganda. And all these influencers, they're not here to change nothing. They're not here to really make people think. Look at these people who moved the whole entire world and were influencing people back in the day, like Shakespeare and these powerful people. But people will do anything for money too, so they'll give up their soul for money. That's a whole nother aspect of it. We could just keep going because the evil's in hindsight in 2025.